Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You can find me on Twitter at Dynasty Dad FF. Guys, I got my buddy the Elf shirt on because it feels like Christmas. We got rookie drafts in full swing. All the Smash Accept leagues are drafting. I'm in 22 different leagues. I made 72 trades in the last 2 days. I am just pumped up. Like I'm like a kid in a candy store. I want to get into these draft trades. Everything that we have today deals with rookie picks and specific draft picks. Snoog, like this is low-key my favorite time of the year. You know, we've built all these guys up. We know who we're drafting. A lot of people, the casuals, they show up. They have no clue who they're taking. They're like, Shador Sanders in the first? No, but they're trying to figure out what's going on while we're smashing trades, and I love it.
Yeah, this is the best time of the year. It's the only thing I prefer to Christmas, right? I mean, we're getting rookie drafts, the NFL draft, people finally coming out of the wood shop, dusting off the good old dynasty fantasy football mindset and bringing it to the table. So leagues are coming out of hibernation and trades are flying off the boards and rookies are getting picked. So this is what I look forward to. I'm looking forward to this show for some of these rookie trades and stuff.
And right now, I mean, the Discord is hopping right there. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button to the YouTube page. Brock put a crazy good edit out on Snoog and I's top 12 in a mock draft. We got that's down below. Also, patreon.com/smash accept. Snoog, I answered 300 DMs the other day during draft time. Last night didn't go to bed till 2 a.m. because I was sitting there grinding, got up at 5:30 and started answering more questions because we're committed to help you guys smash your rookie drafts. You guys are just as much degenerates as we are when it comes to these kind of things. And Brock, we get this awesome code right now. I know you put it up there. Draft 25 gets you 25% off your yearly. That's our best deal of the entire year. I said we were going to run it for a week. I think I'm going to run it for another week because you guys just keep jumping in there. We want to give back to you guys because you guys, every single trade show, you guys give back. Speaking of give backs, Brock, this is it, man. Every single time we do the super chats, we break a new record. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we approached 20. You know, this week we got some cool giveaways.
Yeah. Go ahead and tell the people what we're going to be getting. We got some milestones to hit.
Yeah, I know. So if we hit 5, we're going to give away a basic and a rookie guide. That's a $50 value. Not too bad, right? If we hit 10, we're going to give away 2 VIPs and 2 rookie guides. That is $100 value. If we hit 20 supers, we're going to give away 2 VIPs. We're going to give away 2 rookie guides. And we're going to give away a spot, not the paid spot. You still have to pay for it, but in our Smash Accept High Roller, Smash Accept 20 League, which guys are just super excited to try to get into that. As soon as I mentioned we were going to do it, everyone's like, I got to get in there. So without further ado, let's get this thing going. You know, like we have 20 trades to do. We already have 300 people in the room. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into things. So trade one here coming from Pops007 from Twitter. We got one side with Justin Jefferson and James Cook. One side with Justin Jefferson, other side with James Cook, Garrett Wilson, the 110 and 205. Dad, I'm going to go ahead and kick this one over here to you. What do we think?
So these are interesting trades without a little bit more context. In this particular trade, I mean, you look at it, Cook's probably worth your 107 to 108. Wilson's more like 102, 103. So I think this is enough. But again, if you have that embarrassment of riches, if you have those players, you can tear up. I love James Cook for this year. I think Garrett Wilson's going to ascend. At the 110, Snoog, I've been smashing every single league, Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren. Like they just keep falling as if they're not elite level tight ends. And then you get the 205, which is still in that cusp area of getting a Cam Scatterbo, a Trey Harris, a guy like that. So Snoog, while I pull up the rest of this, I mean, I want Jefferson if I have the extra pieces, but for me, I think this is enough to sell.
Yeah, to me, I think I want Jefferson because I just feel like James Cook's a volatile commodity you're getting. I like Garrett Wilson there. Depending on what that 110 looks like, if it's Loveland or Igbuka for me, if Igbuka slides there, but it's just not enough for me to trade a Justin Jefferson. There's not enough intriguing pieces that I see on the other side other than Garrett Wilson that I love, that I'm excited to get. So to me, I would want to turn James Cook into another first and then pair up the 205 and 110 and turn it into, I don't know, a 27 first plus. I'd be trying to do stuff like that if I was going to do a trade like that. If I could piece it out, then I'd probably do it. If not, then I'd probably hang with Justin Jefferson.
I'm pulling up what he said. He said his draft is tonight. Contending team, what I would say is three roster. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Marv London at receiver, McBride at tight end, Brees and Mixon at running back. I was offered Jefferson. I feel like this is too much. However, do I take this in that situation? So Snoog, I mean, his wide receivers are solid with Amon-Ra, Marv, and London. Nothing, even if he trades Wilson, his running back room becomes a little bit dicey with just Brees and Mixon. And I think this is something that people really need to pay attention to. I've been saying it for weeks, Snoog, is we're going to build out before we build up. And if you're in a position where I have teams right now where James Cook is my RB6 and Garrett, like smash except 3, James Cook is my RB6 and Garrett Wilson's my my wide receiver 5. So in this case, I'm going to smash Jefferson all day long, right? If I'm rebuilding and I'm going to start moving my way out, I'm going to sell Jefferson, get a guy like Wilson, get the 110, switch James Cook for a 27 first. And this is what's great about Dynasty, right? Is you're going to be able to do it both ways. So on this one, if you're going all in, no problem taking Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
All right. Next one here coming from T. Smith over from Twitter. And we got one side with, again, Garrett Wilson and the 211, and the other side with Chase Brown and the 201. So, Snoog, I'm going to kick this one over here to you. Chase Brown, he kind of escaped getting a RB added to his room there in the first couple of days of the draft. What do we think on this one?
Yeah, I mean, Chase Brown's a big riser post-draft, but I want Garrett Wilson 10 out of 10 times here. There is a huge gap between 201 and 211, but the gap isn't as big as between Garrett Wilson and Chase Brown for me.
The gap between the 201 and 211 is beyond massive right now. Your 201, every single draft, and again, I did 22 of them in the last 24 hours. 90% of the time, it's Jackson Dart or Matthew Golden. I've seen Ibuka there. In 2 of our leagues, RJ Harvey fell there. So I think the 201 is a golden area. Snoog, Chase Brown has gone from a major sell to a massive buy. And I love that they drafted Taj Brooks, and I think he's a great sleeper. But I think Chase Brown's value has crept up to, he dropped all the way down to 1.8 to 110. I would argue that he's probably in that 1.6 to 1.7 area now. He was the RB5 over the final 8 weeks of the season. If you take out the 211, I'd be really tempted to take Chase Brown and what's at 201 for Garrett Wilson, but I don't think you have to. So the 211 sways me to the Garrett Wilson side, but Snoog, the 211's gross. It's like, I love the third round, but the 211, it's Jalen Milroe. It's sometimes, Jack Beck has been my favorite pick in that area. It's just Jalen Noel sometimes falls in that area, but it is not pretty. The third round is nothing but running backs. I'm smashing Devin Neal at 3.6, and I'm like, I love that. So if you're in that late 2, trade back. I've been doing a lot of like 211 and a 27 third for, something, a 27 second and something in that third round, because I think you're going to actually find better value in that third round.
Yeah, it is gross right now, especially in that late second range where we thought we'd be getting like Ollie Gordon, Damian Martinez, DJ Giddens, all these running backs that went round 3 to 5. They all went like round 6 to 7. So it's just absolutely disgusting. I'm so disappointed with the NFL and how they treated this running back class. They really blew it. They took all the bums in round 4, all of them, all the bums.
But I think it's actually good for your dynasty drafts because round 3 and round 4, you're going to smash these guys. Taj Brooks is going round 4. I'm getting, Brashard Smith at 412, like to end these drafts out. And I think you're going to get a lot of wild card opportunities.
Yeah,
you're going to get some opportunities to pick guys up.
Because it doesn't mess up their talent at all. Like they're still the same players we saw in the field. It's just their opportunity to get on the field might not be as quick. With draft capital, that's usually what you want with draft capital. It's just they go round 2 or 3, it's probably going to be the starter, probably get the chance right away. But yeah.
Absolutely. Here we go.
All right. Trade number 3 here coming from Hunter Faringa over on the Discord. We got one side with the 101, Ashton JT, other side with the 104, a projected mid to late 26 and 27 first. So, Dad, you're moving back 3 spots, but picking up a first and next year and the year after that. Is that enough to move off JT, or what are we thinking here?
First off, big shout out to Hunter. Hunter Faringa is the longest tenured member of the Patreon. So he was
Wow.
there. There's a
OG.
special tier of just 2 guys that started at the original price, and they've been grandfathered in on that, which is like 1 Buffalo nickel. But we have them loaded in there. He also helped. We did a dispersal draft in Smash Accept 12, which he helped head up, which was awesome. And then we came out of this. I had the 102, 103, 105, and I got Hampton, Tet, and Henderson. He had the 101 or the 10, and we have this area here where it's 104 and 2 firsts. And I think in this particular one, I got to pull it up, but Snoog, I think it all depends on what these picks are. If these are too late first, you smash Genty. If they're too mid first, I'm still smashing Genty. It's like but if they're too early firsts, then it's what we keep talking about, right? It's like if you have those early first, you're not trading up for Genty anyways because you're doing this poorly. But if you're, if it's middle to late, I want the 101 still every single time.
Yeah, if you're telling me I can get Hunter, Tet, or Hampton plus 2 firsts on top to trade off Genty, I'm doing it in a heartbeat. I don't care mid, late, whatever they think that they're gonna be. I'm gonna take that all day.
Yeah, and in this particular one, he got Cam Ward at 4, and then I got to see who they pull up there, into those trades. But again, this is really going to be completely what happens with the other team, and the other one is Seymour Joe. He's a guy in the Discord. He just joined. He's one of the guys in the dispersal. So they both look to be in that mid area. So I feel like if it ends up being an early 27 first, you're fine. But for right now, I'm firmly taking the Ashton Genty side here for sure.
Yep.
All right.
I'm ready.
Trade number 4.
We need a cowbell. We need some super chats. I didn't want to bring it up yet, but it's my birthday today. We're recording live, having some fun. I'm not going to say my age, but if we get to a trade that's in there, maybe
27.
Yep, exactly.
He's as old as Tyler Shuck. Trade number 4 here, coming from Gary Magnus over on the Discord. We got the 101, and then we got Puka and 206. Snoog didn't even let me finish. He said the 101. Dad, do you agree here, Ashton Genty?
This has really become interesting, right? Because Puka Nacua was considerably over the 101. I'm not cowbelling this.
That's a cowbell,
this, man. Yeah, 206. You're getting, if you're lucky, Bashal Tootin. So this is a good trade. But if you do this for either side, Genty is just. Let's be honest, guys. Best ball drafts, he's going mid round 1.
Yeah.
I'm seeing his current ADP is at 13 in your standard leagues. So right now he's borderline first round pick. This is something that if you track that through, if you look at the Todd Gurleys, the Ezekiel Elliott's, the Saquon Barkleys, the Christian McCaffreys, when a guy gets number 1 draft capital and you look at him in his redraft and he's going this early, they don't miss, he just doesn't miss. So it is Genty here. Snoog, what's the line? If this was 201, I'd smash Puka. If I could get Puka and RJ Harvey, I'm going to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if I can get RJ Harvey in there, but
203 might be the line. I really like 202 and 203. Trey Harris is usually in there. Jackson Dart's usually in that area. So you get a good shot at multiple assets that give you, a bunch of bang for your buck.
I just have a huge gap between Puka, Bijan, and Gibbs. So I'm going to treat it the same way with Genty to me. And I just think Genty and Puka's best seasons, I bet you Genty outscores him by 50 to 100 points. There's that big of a gap for me. Genty has 400 plus point upside in an offense where he's literally going to get the ball 300 plus times as a rookie. Puka, on the other hand, great player. What is he without Stafford, first of all? Second of all, what is he going to be with Devontae Adams? Probably still very, very good in a top 8 to 5 wide receiver, but he just worries me a little bit. He's one of those, if we're 2 years down the road and you told me, Puka Nacua is the wide receiver 13 in Dynasty now, I wouldn't be shocked. I would be shocked if it was a CeeDee Lamb or an Amon-Ra St. Brown, but a Puka, I think he's getting thrown around with those elite names, but he's not really with them in terms of skill set, talent, all that stuff. I think it's more like a Sean McVay fed system, and he's more in that Jordy Nelson type of mold, that low end, high end wide receiver 1 type player. Super chat.
Hey, all right. We got my girlfriend jumping on here. She's going to break the record for Dad's birthday. Thank you, Mandy. Appreciate that. So she's jumping in. Let's see what else goes on. Thanks, babe. Appreciate you.
All right, 1 down.
There we go. We got that first one. She broke the ice here. Appreciate it. So Let's pull
Trade
up our
number
next
5
trade
here.
here. That one threw me off a little bit.
All right, next trade coming here from Jake Bonnet over from the Discord. We got one side with Brock Bowers and the 203, other side with London, the 103, and a 26 second. Now, Dad, I'm not going to pass this one over to you because I feel like last time we were here, you said it's always Bowers no matter what. Snoog, is it Bowers no matter what, or do we like the London 103 side here?
I want the London side in this one. I want it. I'm getting guaranteed one of the Hampton, Hunter, Chet McMillans at that 103. Sign me up. And London and a second. The 203 is very like a good piece, but like I get basically 2 elite wide receiver ones that are young, or an RB one and an elite wide receiver one that's young. So sign me up.
Yeah, I mean, you're actually taking the London side on this one.
I would, yeah. I think the 103 is a huge piece to get added on to the Bowers. I feel like that's 2 third-round startup picks for Bowers, so I'm taking that.
But Bowers is a first-round startup pick. I'm always, almost every single time I'm taking Bowers. And I have no problem here. Again, if you're building up, this is why you and I dominate our leagues when it comes to tight end premium, because we have so many Brock Bowers shares. I go through my leagues. I have over 50% ownership of Brock Bowers. And Bowers is just, he's going to absolutely dominate. All they brought in was Thornton and Beck. Like, this is going to be 150-plus targets easily. And he's going to be the tight end one. So I think if you're in a heavy tight end premium, 0.75 or 2 tight end, this isn't close. If it's 0.5, I can see what Snoog's saying there, and I think what I would love to do is I would take London. I'd take the 103, maybe even trade back to, where you have Warren and Loveland going at that 9-10 area, and then get yourself another tight end. So we got our second super chat here. Oscar Alonso jumping in here. He got Marion Hampton at the 102 and has the 107 and 108. Got to get a question to actually go with that.
Puka Judkins.
I think we're talking about who to take here.
Who to take?
Not a trade.
I'm not touching it. I'm taking Judkins, and then at 1-8, I'm taking Loveland over Ibuka. But I mean, that's who usually goes in that area. 1-8 through 110 is almost strictly your tight ends and Ibuka, and I have seen Harvey go this early. I have seen Caleb go this early in a couple of drafts. I just think there's a little bit more longevity for those other guys. I have no problem taking anyone in that 108 to 112 range. It's a very fluid spot. Judkins is the one, Snoog, he's my most owned dynasty running back at this point. I have drafted him in 9 out of my 22 drafts. I have made trades to get up to him. He's the cheapest one to get to because it's so hard to get to Henderson. It's so hard to get to Tet. But you could trade up for Judkins, and people are just behind on that, which they should not be. So let's
I'm sad. I have 0. I don't own him anywhere, and I've been literally pounding the drum for him everywhere. I just haven't been able to get him. Every time he goes right before me, or he'll like I had 107 in a league. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get Judkins. The kid took Judkins 106, and I got Henderson 7. I'm like, all right.
That's fine too.
I'm not gonna complain, but like, it's just like for some reason. The fantasy gods don't want me to draft Quinshon Judkins, so I don't know.
Brock, we got 3 more super chats. They're coming in. Man, we got it kicking off. She wants to break the birthday record, so let's do it. Here we go. Dion's up.
Yeah, appreciate the super chat here, Dion. He said 12-team Superflex PPR, 6-point passing, Kyler and a 26 second, or Devon Achane in a 6-point passing. Dad, what do we think?
Nuke, should we? I mean, it's Kyler Murray here all day
Still
long.
the QB.
I mean,
yeah.
Everybody, especially in 6-point passing, Kyler Murray was QB 10 last year, and everybody acts like that was a bad season. That's his floor. It's QB 10. He's going to get you the rushing upside. Achane is great, but I mean, Kyler Murray is going to put up crazy points. I'm perfectly fine there. And then take your 26 seconds, Snoog, and what do? You buy Alvin Kamara, you buy Joe Mixon, or you buy James Conner. You're getting the same production, and then you have that elite quarterback. Richard Geary, my man. He said the Discord, thank you. Happy birthday. Discord this week has been insane. We have one of your trades here, Richard, so stay on. Like from Smash Accept 18, you're on there, so I love that. Here's the next one. Go ahead, Brock.
Yeah, we got another one coming here from C. Herda. Appreciate the super chat, C. Herda. We got one side with Caleb, other side with Kyler again, but this time with the 108 and 203. It's about the 201 in a 10-team league, if that matters. But Snoog, what do we like here? Caleb or Kyler in the picks?
I want Caleb. I'm so high on
Yeah.
Caleb Williams. I bought 2 shares in the past 2 days of him. He is going to be ridiculous in this Ben Johnson offense with the weapons that they surrounded him with. Like, I think all 3 of us on this podcast could roll out there with shoulder pads and a helmet and throw football so that
I'll throw screens to Luther,
yeah, literally
DJ Moore.
throw football to that core with Ben Johnson chefing up behind the scenes, and I think we could be all right. Like, that's how good Caleb Williams is going to do, and I think you'd have to be absolutely horrendous to not be able to throw 4,000 yards in that offense this year. So
yeah,
that's how I feel.
And it's 10 team. So if you're not rebuilding, it's Caleb Williams. You know, at the 108, you're going to get one of those tight ends. At the 201, you know, you might get Jackson Dart, you might get RJ Harvey. You know, it's a nice little package if you're tearing down. But I think Caleb is your foundational asset. And Snoog, I no longer look at Kyler Murray as a foundational quarterback. I look at him as a production pillar. You know, and we're going to start covering that a little bit more. But I no longer look at him in foundational. I don't look at Kyler Murray on my team and be like, set it and forget it. We're good. Yo, we are rocking through the super chats. We are up to 8 now, Brock. So let's keep them going.
Hell yeah. So we got this next one coming from Big Fish Dog. Appreciate it, Big Fish. Said happy birthday to Dad. He said he got the 103 and the 303 on one side, or the 108 and 111. So it looks like these picks might have already been made, maybe already past the 111, but Tet and 303 or Harvey and Warren there, Dad. What do we think?
It's Tet, but it's close because I think, Snoog, people are way too low on Warren. I've been smashing him everywhere, 111 to 201. And I think he's a top 5 dynasty tight end. And I think Harvey, despite the age, is going to put up an RB1 to RB2 season. So I think based on your need, but I've seen Tet slip to like 105, 106 that people think that he has a bust potential. It's not going to happen. Like Tet McMillan is a great pick there at 103. If you're not taking Hampton, Tet's my guy. Snoog's got Hunter, but that 103's got more value.
All right. Next one here coming from JJ Berenio. He said, hey guys, in a 1.5 Ted in premium, only one quarterback, 12-team league. Trey McBride in a 26 first or Gibbs in a second. Also, happy birthday. Snoog saying Gibbs, Dad. Do we agree for 1.5 tight end premium? McBride
I'm
in a
assuming
first or Gibbs in a second.
So we got to make sure when we clarify these is like 0.5 is the premium. If the tight end premium is 1.5, that means you're getting 2.5 per reception.
It probably means 1.5
would be
PPR.
wild. So I'm assuming that, and unless that 26 first is early, and McBride is a difference maker, but it's Gibbs here. You know, I think it has to be Gibbs. He's both of our RB1s, and I think you take him considerably higher. That first would need to be a top 3 26 first for me.
All right. And then the last one here for now. Oh, as I said that, another one comes in. We got Kevin here. Appreciate the super chat. Kev, he said, happy birthday again, Dad. Kyler or the 104? He said he's a contender right now. So, I mean, you're probably not going to trade Kyler for Cam Ward. So would you take one of those position guys or just stick with the QB on a contending team? Snoog, what do we think?
I'll say it for him since he's on mute. It's Kyler Murray if you need a quarterback. You're not drafting Cam Ward. If you don't need, I have so many people messaging me that like, hey, Kyler Murray's my QB4. Okay. Then you can take something like 103, 104, get yourself Tet McMillan or Travis Hunter. If you need a quarterback, this is cheap for Kyler Murray. I think we're at a spot where he is 104 right now in value. So it's dead even. But I think you're going to see him move back up there. So I would take Kyler if I needed a quarterback. Otherwise, you just kind of pass it along.
Yep. That's what I was going to say.
All right. And then we got another one here from Jose Benito. Appreciate the super chat there, Jose. He was asking, would you pay 110 and a 26 mid to late first and Pickens for the 104 and 204? He already has a lot of this draft, the 1, the 3, the 4, 6, and 12 to contend and then build up. So 110, a mid to late first next year, and Pickens for the 104 and 204. See some head nod, Dad. What do we think?
Yeah. I think you take 204 and Pickens and wipe it out. Pickens is in that 202 to 204 range. And I low-key would prefer the 204 today. Like if you told me I could choose between Trey Harris and George Pickens, I want to, it's going to be so hard for George Pickens to regain value and get back to where we thought he was going to be. He will have to dominate. So then I look at it as the 110 plus a mid to late first for the 104, where you can get Travis Hunter, Tet McMillan, or Travion Henderson. I mean, you already have the 101, the 103, the 104, the 106. I mean, like, you're loaded. Get Genty, get Tet, get Hunter, and then at 6, get Judkins, and at 12, get Tyler Warren and Jose. You're going to dominate, and that's how we do it. You build it all out. Now let's build it all up. I love that one. That's a fantastic one. We are one away from giving away 2 rookie guides and 2 VIP Patreons. So that was a great run there, guys. We appreciate that. We are on to
trade six.
This is from YouTube. A lot of you guys, you guys watch the show on YouTube. You can ask the questions on there as well. I mean, I'm always responding to them. You can tell it's biased if it's, if people ask about 102 and I say it's Hampton, it's me responding, not Snoog. And if Hunter's, he says something about Hunter, it's him, not me. But yeah, let's hit it out.
All right. Yeah. Trade 6 coming from Varam Leal over here on YouTube. We got a 12-team start 11. He is a contender. We got one side with JSN, Mixon, a mid to late 26 second, and the 407. Or I'm assuming the draft already happened. Is this Travis Hunter, the 207, and a mid to late 26 first? So, Dad, what do we think here on this one?
Oh, we're smashing Travis Hunter here. I love Jackson Smith and Jigba too, but like, Travis Hunter's closer. I have Jackson Smith and Jigba worth the 102. Hunter's not my 102, but he's closer to my 102 than he is my 104. If that makes any sense. So you're getting that mid to late first, which is better than Mixon. I mean, this is a smash for me. I think there's no scenario here, even though it's, start 11 is a little bit deeper. Jackson Smith and Jigba and Mixon are great, but I think getting Hunter, that mid to late first, and at the 207, I think you could still get Bashal Tootin. You can get, in some leagues, Cam Scatabo, so you're going to still get a decent running back there at that 207.
Yeah, I'm smashing the Travis Hunter side as well here, that you can go ahead and cancel out the seconds and all that stuff. I'm looking at this trade like JSN and Mixon for Hunter in a first. All day long, I want Travis Hunter's side.
Yeah, I mean,
the question is, how long before Travis Hunter passes JSN in Dynasty?
A while. I mean, JSN just popped off, and I think he's the clear number 1 in targets. I don't think Travis Hunter is ever going to be number 1 for in targets in Jacksonville. It's going to be Brian Thomas Jr., but it's only going to take 120-yard game with a long touchdown for Travis Hunter to everybody's excited about him, right? Like, so he's going to have those big plays where he pops off, where Tet's going to have to be like 8 for 72 and 7 for 104 and gradually build himself up. And people feel the same way, but people are excited about Hunter. They're going to love Hunter. I think he could pass him, but I think Jackson stays above most of this year.
All right. Trade 7 here coming from Sean Owens over on the Discord. We got one side with the 106, 307, and a 26 third, and the other side with the 201 and a 26 first. So pretty much looking at this like you're moving back. Oh, he said he traded up to get Judkins. Okay, so there's some context there. So he moved up from the 201 to the 106 by throwing a first, got a couple thirds back on top. So Snoog, what do we think here going back to that trade here, knowing he traded up to get Judkins there? What do we think?
I like it if Caleb Johnson, Colston Loveland, Tyler Warren, and RJ Harvey weren't there. If any of them were there, like if they went 109 to 112 or 109 to 112, those 4 picks.
The top message back up real quick, Dad.
If they went there, if they went there, then I'd probably prefer the 201 side if I could get like Caleb Johnson in a first for Judkins. But depending if it's Jackson Dart or one of these guys at 201, I'm probably going to take the Judkins side if it's going to be a late 26 first, because Judkins would have been RB1 next year or RB2, probably RB2 behind Jeremiah Love, but very close to RB1.
What's wild for me right now, Snoog, is I would trade from the 102 to the 106 if I'm getting a mid first, knowing I could get Henderson or Judkins from Hampton, as much as I love Hampton. And then from the 106 down to the 112. If it was 112, I would do this in a heartbeat, because 112, RJ Harvey has been the 112 in 90% of the leagues that I've been in, or Caleb Johnson. If I'm getting one of those running backs, I feel like you could go Hampton and 2 firsts to 112, or you could go Judkins and a first to 112. If we know they're there at 201, I would jump in. if it's Jackson Dart, I feel like you're going to have to be patient, but you will get a good return. If it's Matthew Golden, Golden's the craziest one, right? Like he could be the golden ticket, like no pun intended, or he could bust. Like he's got the biggest bust potential, but in the Packers offense with
feel like
Watson's going to be out a majority of the year. You know, we wanted to prop up guys like Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Reed, your boy Dontavian Wicks, but
Wickman.
None of those guys.
Best player ever that has no hands.
Hey,
the guy no one can guard, but he's got FIFA hands. I think Golden at best is like a Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers type of player. I think that's like a really safe, like high ceiling type for him. But that's like fine. If you're getting that at 201, he's gone 203 in some of my leagues. Like people are like Dart, Harvey, Caleb Johnson, all like Luther Burden's going over him a lot, which is like fine. Luther's better. But like the situation that Golden got, and he got first round draft capital, like 203, 204. Like I'm trading up and getting him everywhere if he's there.
Let's jump to trade 17 then, because this is, you know, from Snacks in the Discord. The 26 first or 112. I keep seeing that. I sold when I get to 201. I have sold the 201 4 different times for a 27 first because it was either Jackson Dart or Matthew Golden, and I'm fine with that. You know, like I think once you get to 110, I'm fine with the 27 first plus a little bit. There's going to be multiple trades. Obviously, I put on a clinic this past week because I made 72 trades in my 22 leagues. I am blown away. Everybody said you cannot acquire 27 first. I say you're a liar because once you're on the clock, everybody wants that new toy. And that's why in 26, you're still going to be able to do this. Everybody thinks the 27 class is that much better. But once you're on the clock in your particular class, everybody wants in. Like, let's be honest. Like you want to get that new toy that's right there. Like this super chat here from Jack Donahue. Now we're at 10, baby.
All right, hitting us to 10, Jack. Appreciate the super chat. We got Mahomes and a late 26 first on one side, or Justin Fields, Kenneth Walker, and the 106 on the other. Little reference, he's going to go Henderson there at the 106. Other QB is Purdy, 10-team Superflex. So Fields, Kenneth, and Travion, or Mahomes in a late second, Dad. What do we think?
Snoog's going to hate me, but I'm taking Justin Fields' side. He's got in a 10-team, it depreciates the quarterback. Justin Fields will score more points than Patrick Mahomes this year, period. Kenneth Walker is going to be an back-end RB1. You get Travion Henderson there. You know, I'm assuming he has another competent QB3. Like, if knowing what that QB3 situation is, if you have another guy like a Baker Mayfield, you have a Jared Goff, maybe even a Matthew Stafford even, I am fine with this trade. Snoog, I heard you say, wow. I know you're a Mahomes guy. You just can't sell him. You just can't. Like when you try to sell him, nobody wants him.
Yeah, he's one of those guys you just ride until you're 40 years old. Like keep him for the whole time your dynasty league's going to run for.
Hey, why you got to call out 40-year-olds, man? You know, like why you got to go there?
You're
like,
27. What are you talking about?
Right. Okay.
I'm taking, I mean, this uncertainty with Fields, obviously he's going to be absolutely insane if he plays this year, full 17 games. He'll put up a ton of points. You're getting 2 RB1s with this trade. In a nutshell, it's great value, but to me, I just want Mahomes. Like, it's just too much uncertainty with Fields, Kenneth Walker, and a rookie to move off the best quarterback in the NFL. Like, I hate to say it, but he is. I think Josh Allen's better, but he doesn't have Andy Reid, so.
Well, and we're playing fantasy football. He's been outscored by Brock Purdy, by Baker Mayfield, by Jared Goff, even freaking by Trevor Lawrence, you know, in fantasy points per game. So it's like Mahomes, I'm selling the name cachet wherever I can. Brock, do you own any Patrick Mahomes shares?
No, I don't.
We had a spot where you could sell him for 4 firsts. Now you're lucky if you get 2 in most leagues. So that's where I'm like, if I can get Fields and 2 mid first, because Walker's a mid. You know, and I think Henderson's there. It's interesting. I'm not like arguing this one crazy against Mahomes, but at the same time, if I can sell him, I'm doing it.
Yeah. All right. And then before we get back on track here, we got another super chat from Chan Hughes coming in. He's saying in a heavy rebuild, he traded Hampton and Penix for Caleb Williams. and a mid 26 first.
Yo, hey,
Oh,
I'm
brother.
just gonna do
Oh,
this
brother.
Wow.
the rest of the show. I'm not gonna stop. Yeah,
You don't even
That's
need the
insane.
first. You could
That's
throw the first on
insane.
the other side, and I'd still
That's
take
insane.
Caleb.
I hope this isn't somebody that's like, Dad said Hampton's the greatest running back ever. Like, Penix is the most traded quarterback I'm in 22 leagues, and I've seen him traded 6 times. I traded him 4 of them, but I've seen him traded 6 times in the Smash leagues, and it's like he's worth the. I mean, I bought him for the 110 and I sold him for like the 16. I think he's worth somewhere in that 17 to 110, but I don't think Snoog. I would trade Caleb Williams for Penix and Hampton, let alone the first.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It's crazy the gap between Caleb Williams and Michael Penix. A rookie first round running back to the Chargers can't even fix that gap for me. That's how big of a gap it is for me. Like that's Ash and Genty would fix the gap for you, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I want Genty.
Because then I could
Williams.
then I could just go flip Michael Penix in a second and go get Dak or T-Law, someone that's actually good and can throw a football.
Hey, I love that a lot of you guys are asking particular questions about the draft. And tomorrow we're going to be doing another live stream at 9:30 where we're going to mock draft. And when you're doing that, come in and ask your questions like this. He said, Ty says, one quarterback with the 1.4, would you pass on Tet, Henderson, and Judkins to draft the top tight end or trade down?
Nope.
Brock, I stole your spot. So Brock, would you do that? Would you move into those guys? No, and this is that classic thing we talk about all the time, right? You are drafting talent over need. This is where you take at 1-4 in a 1 quarterback, it's either Tet or Hunter. Genty's going 1, Hampton's going 2, Tet and Hunter are going 3 and 4. I don't think either of these tight ends, if Luther Burden didn't go to the Bears, okay, I would be like, you're not way off. But then when Burden went there, I'm like, there's so many mouths to feed.
It's
and if Warren went to the Jets or Warren went to the Chargers, okay, we're talking a little bit different. But if you want to do this, you want to trade back, Warren and Loveland are going in 1 quarterback leagues. They're going between 1.7 and 1.9. So strategically, trade back to 1.7 and 1.9. And what's great about it is almost every draft I've done, they go back to back, because they're right in that same area. So if you trade that 1.7 to 1.9, you're going to get him. And I think you can add a first in there. So Ty, trade back if that's really what you want to do, but do not draft Warren or Loveland at the 104. I think you're going to regret that one in a couple of weeks.
All right.
12 super chats are cranking, baby.
Yeah, just for the people that maybe are just trickling in, Dad, what are we doing here at 20?
Oh, we've already passed the basic and the rookie guy. We're now on to, we're going to give away 2 VIPs and 2 rookie guys. That's $100 value. If we hit that 20, we're going to allow one of you guys. So many of you asked, how do I get into a Smash League? Smash Accept 20 is going to be a high roller league, $200 entry fee. We will reserve a spot for you if we get to that one. There's going to be a lot of guys trying to get into that one. That's just the hardest thing about running the Discord and doing things on Twitter is everyone's like, Dad, we want to draft in a league with you and Snoog. And it's like, it's hard. Like, we have to try to be fair about it. So we come up with giveaways. So this is our best option for Smash Accept 20.
Yeah. Do a couple super chats, get a couple bids to entry. We're running the wheel tonight, so you'll know if you're in or not. But trade number 8 here coming from Andres Rosa over on the Discord. We got one side with Tyler Warren again there. Took him at the 112. Also got a late 4th on top. On the other side is 2 seconds there, the 203 or 209. Dad, what do we think here on this one? Would you move up a couple spots and get your guy?
I love you. This is what you got to do is when your guy falls, you got to act, right? So your guy falls to 112 and Warren's my 1.8. So I'm sure as heck going to trade up here. And at 2.3, you're going to get Trey Harris. At 2.9, you're going to be stretching for something. So I think getting Warren here. And then at the 4.9, and Snoog and I were talking about this backstage, get those late 4s thrown in everywhere, because you got Brashard Smith, you got Taj Brooks, you got a lot of guys that people are not coming around on yet, that don't understand because they have not listened to this show like you guys have, where we've told you this class is 20 deep. I'm getting Devin Neal in the late 3rd. I'm getting these guys in that late 3rd, late 4th. Those are the throw-ins that you want to get because they're the true dart throws. So Snoog, I mean, you got to smash this here. I would even do this for 203 and 205. I'm all in on that.
Yeah, I'm smashing the Tyler Warren side as well here. I think this is a big blockbuster move where you're turning a Luther Bird and Trey Harris type of player into a top 13 tight end. We've talked about the 211, the damn 209. So not as bad, but it's not pretty. Like the strength of this class was going to be the second and third round. After like 205, 206, sign me off. I want nothing to do with it. I want nothing to do. I literally want Taj Brooks, Damian Martinez, and all those free agent players at cost over all the third, like what? Dylan Sampson, 4th round of the Browns to be a backup. Shador Sanders, 5th round of the Browns to be like, it's gross. It's really gross.
Sometimes we come up with, slogans that have never been used before. We're not signing Snoog up. We're signing him off. We're signing him off on that one. Hey, the next one here, Brock, I'm going to preface this one. The next one's from me. The next wait. Oh, nope. No, it's not. We got a super chat. 13. 13. Here we go.
Yes, sir. We got LB Money back in the house. Appreciate the super chat, LB. He said, Lamb or Nico, Worthy, and the 302. Best show in the biz. Appreciate it, LB. Now, Nico did get some added comp to his room, the Cyclone boys, but we're still taking CD here. Do we want Nico, Worthy, and the 302, Snoog? I'll kick this one over to you.
Yeah, I want the Nico side because I know I can turn Worthy into a probably mid first, and Nico in a first or CD's fine for me.
CD Lamb's going to get peppered, but like I'm on the Nico train. I don't think the gap between Nico and Lamb is a mid first. I think it's more of a late first at this point. So I like that side a lot. I'm with you, Snoog. I think that's going to be Nico Collins. Like people are starting to look at him because he's turning 26, acting like he's 30. Like chill. It's going to be a fantastic one. What I was trying to say with trade 9 is it is my birthday. So the next super chat, whoever it is, I will give you a free month of basic Patreon. So even if you put in a $2 super chat, you're going to get at least a $5 a month. So I'm feeling giving. It's my birthday. Let's roll.
All right. Yes, sir. This trade, we got one side with Travis Etienne and a mid 27 first. Other side with the 107, which became Cam Ward. Snoog, I'm going to throw this one over here to you. Do we want Etienne in the mid first there in 27 or Cam Ward?
I want Cam Ward in this trade. Just because 2-year out first, I mean, it's close because that 27 first is definitely going to be better than Cam Ward probably. But first overall pick quarterback, if he has a good game or two early on, you're going to be able to get plenty more than just a random 27 first in Travis Etienne, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is going to be, I won't tell you. It's going to be a little bit earlier than you think. But this is in Smash Except 13 where
then the first. If the team sucks, then the first. If you know what the team looks like, I want the first.
I'm forecasting a little bit. I think it's going to be a little bit. It's at least going to be mid. And in that particular draft, I had 9 firsts. I drafted Genty. I drafted Tet. I drafted Warren. I took Henderson, I took Judkins, and I traded the rest of them for 27 firsts. So I actually came out with 4 more 27 firsts, and it just ended up. We're going to do an entire show on it where you just how you can build out, before you build up, and if you can do that. I mean, it was a punt where I had 9 firsts, and then all of a sudden now I'm up to 13 firsts plus this year what we just have. So you can just keep moving back. So when you're punting, the chance here, and again, when you control the board, you can push it to wherever you want. So I was like. The guy said he wanted Ward. Well, I made sure I took Judkins. I made sure I took this guy. And then all of a sudden we were like, okay, you want Ward? Here he is. And you can kind of control the board. So Robert Reynolds is the next one, baby.
Yes, sir. Trade 10 here coming from Robert from the Discord. We got one side now. Got some competition to his room there. Roma Dunze and the 209. The other side with the 105 and 301. Dan, I'm going to throw this one over here to you. What do we think?
At this point, I'd rather have the 105 than Roma Dunze.
Yeah.
I think he was worth
very easily.
I think he was worth the 109 or the 105 before the draft. Once they brought in Luther Burden and Colston Loveland, I think he's now worth closer to the 107 because I would prefer Tet. I would prefer Hunter. I would prefer Henderson. I think he's closer to value-wise of Judkins right now. But keep in mind, if you're buying, there's a lot of rumor about DJ Moore getting traded, and let's get him to the Bills because that would just, oh my gosh. But right, yeah, like let's wow. Make that happen. Let's talk that into fruition right now. But I think Roma Dunze at this point is a definite hold again. He went from, I was selling him in the offseason and everybody told me I was an idiot for it. And then I started buying again once Ben Johnson came. Now I think, Snoog, you can't really sell because the 209 to 301 is nothing here. So, I mean, I would want a 27 first plus a mid-second to get Rome Odunze. You know, like I think the value here is firmly on the 105 side.
Yep, I want the 105. Not thinking twice about it. I'm going to get an elite RB1 or Travis Hunter, who's fallen to that spot a couple of times in a couple of rookie drafts I've been seeing. So to me, I just really, really want that.
What about like 201, where it's Matthew Golden plus a random to late 26 first? Would you rather have Rome or that? See, I think I'd rather have Golden now. Yeah, it's a clearer path and gives you like extra insulation there.
If they trade DJ Moore, it's gonna look good.
Oh, if they trade DJ Moore, he's gonna go through the roof.
They're gonna.
No, I think they roll with all of
blood
them.
There.
Yeah,
it's gonna be gross. Close to Loveland a bust.
Trade 11 here coming from Joey36247 over on Discord. We got one side with the 106 and a 26 fourth, and the other side with Devontae Smith, the 26 third. We'll throw out the garbage. Snoog, Smitty, or the 106? What do we think?
Fair trade. I think it's as dead even as you can get. If it's Travion Henderson or Travis Hunter, I'd prefer that pick probably. But I think like Judkins, some of those other like Judkins, maybe even Henderson, Ward, like those guys in that range for me with Smith, it's a wash for me.
Yeah, I think now Devonta Smith's worth the 106. That's just where we're at. Maybe even the 107, depending on who falls. So, I mean, I would say I'm going to go with the shiny new toy at 106 because Devonta Smith's in that weird area where he's not the same production pillar that you have in a T. Higgins or AJ Brown. You're just like, okay, he's going to put up some solid points for me. But the 106, if it's Henderson, could be a real game changer. So I like the 106.
All right. Trade 12 here coming from Connor Amprine over on Discord. We got one side with the 104, Devontae Adams, and 206, and the other side with the 102 and the 202. Now, I believe this may be the first 102 tier back that we've seen. I know there hasn't been too many of them. It's kind of tough to get off that pick. Dad, what do we think on this? Would you move back 2 spots, pick up a vet, move back a couple spots in the second? What do we like here?
I'm smashing the 102 because I know what the gap there. The 102 is going to get me a Marion Hampton, and the 202 is going to get me something really nice. It's either going to get me Jackson Dart, it's going to get me Matthew Golden. Yeah, I think at this point, I mean, I would rather have I'd rather have Golden than Adams. So I don't think the gap there between, I would not sell the 102 for the 104 and the 206.
So this is where this is fun, right? Because my 102 I'm getting at 104 in every single league, basically.
Yes.
So I would do this trade.
Yeah.
So it's a different perspective for me versus Dad, because he clearly has Hampton as like a clear guy he wants here. To me, I'm like, I'm fine getting Tet Hampton or Hunter at 104. Like I'll take any of them at that point. But I'm probably going to get Hunter, and then I get Adams in the 206 for the 202. I think that like Travis Hunter, Devontae Adams, and 206 for the 102, and I think that's a great haul because to me, 202 lately, I've been seeing no Harvey there, no Caleb Johnson there, no Matthew Golden there. It's been a lot of Luther Burden or Jackson Dart for me, and I'm honestly fine taking a top 12 veteran wide receiver in the 206 over that. Because you might get lucky at 206, get Scatabo, get Jaden Higgins, one of these guys. So
I like what you said there because Hampton has not slipped past 104 in a single draft that I'm in. Travis Hunter has gone 104 to 108. Now I've seen him drop to 8, and I tried to get in there, but he's gone in that. I haven't seen a single one where he goes above the 103. Not a single draft. So if that's your guy, then you're fine with this trade. If you believe in another guy, that's what's awesome about Dynasty, right? Is like there's that uncertainty where you believe in a certain player at this point. You know, you're telling yourself narratives where Omarion Hampton's going to rush for 1,500 yards and 12 touchdowns. And you're telling yourself a scenario where Travis Hunter plays all the offensive snaps and he becomes prime OBJ, you know, and it's like we're all just trying to develop what we're doing with those particular assets. We got our next super chat in here. We're on to number 14. If I can pull that one up. Yo, Dixie Flatline. And as promised, Dixie, make sure you guys put it in the actual chat. I will be sending you a free basic month of the Patreon. So let's hit this one for Dixie Flatline.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the super chat there, Dixie. Said he got 102, 2 firsts, 2 seconds on one side. I'm not sure what year those are. Or the other side with the 101, 201, 301, and then some thirds and fourths. So essentially, it looks like he traded back from the 101 to the 102, picked up a couple firsts, also got some other picks there.
Okay. Let's break it down like this. So let's throw out 301 through 410 because this is the typical trade where you say a lot of guys just, I'm going to throw my whole draft class at you, and that's the turd sandwich approach. So we have let's call it the 101 and the 201 for the 102, 2 firsts and 2 seconds. Let's
put in
take
the chat, it was a 26 first, 26 second, 27 first, 27 second on the 102 side.
Right. And the interesting part there is if it's that guy's 102 and we can see where he responds on that one too. If the 102 guy and Dixie, please do comment on this. I mean, if the 102 guy is trading his 26 first and 27 first, then I'm taking the 102 side. If they are, he happened to acquire the 102 and he's a contender, then I'm taking the 101 side, because I think sometimes people are so blind to try to get an asset. He said they're all projected late. So in that part, yeah, he's getting the 101. I'm smashing the 101. So if everything there, you're talking a late 26 first, a late 27 first, a late 26 second, a late 26 second, you go ahead and you smash Genty. And the fact that you're getting the 201 thrown in, you win all day long.
Yeah, that was a good one there, Dixie. Then we got a next one here coming from C. Herta back again. Said trade down 103 and 104 with Hampton, Hunter on board or draft. So
I trade down. I mean, do you have, if you don't, no, he's saying that he has, no, he says, is he saying trade down from 103 to 104?
That's what I read it as. Like, should he make the pick here or just take whoever falls?
Right. Snoog, do you see a drastic value difference between the two of them at this point?
No.
So like if you can get a plus.
Oh, he has both picks. He has both picks. Should he just rip them both there?
Both.
Yeah.
Don't trade down. Take both.
Yeah, take them both.
Right? Unless you can get like a first on top of Travion Henderson or Judkins, plus like a first and a second. I would do that. Like I would try to get an overpay. Otherwise, I'd just take both.
But I don't think anybody's coming up. I love this here. Just signed up for the guys' Patreon. How do I get into the Discord? I've seen about 6 emails as we've gone. So as soon as this show's over, I will send your email link. So thank you for signing up. We really do appreciate that. Next guy, and Snoog and I were mentioning it. 153 people joined this month. That's why Snoog and I'm not sleeping anymore. You know what I mean? I'm now officially sponsored by C4. Just ripping them all day long, trying to get these trades covered for you guys. So that's because we love you. Here we go.
All right. Next one coming in from SSO Bay 19. Appreciate the chat there. 10-team Superflex 102 or Bijan and the 202.
I don't think that's Bijan. I think that's Brian Robinson. If that's the case,
there's
brother.
No way.
If that's the case, just take this. I'm gonna send this to you. You're gonna get it. I mean, it can't be Bijan.
I mean, there's no way it's Bijan either. Yeah.
So if that's Brian Robinson, then you smash that all day long, brother. Like that's a great trade. You
give him a third on top too, just to get it done.
Yeah, make him feel a little bit better. Like you fleeced him pretty hard. So
make sure you send him a nice fruit basket in the mail.
Yo, there we go.
Edible arrangement.
Snoog, I'll sign off on that one.
Sorry, I'm sniffly right now. Everybody listening, I am battling that tree pollen right now, like you read about it.
We are 4 super chats away from 1 breaking the record and 2 giving somebody an entry into Smash Accept 20, which is just going to be bonkers. Like I'm already getting guys like begging to get into it. So next trade.
All right. Trade 13 here coming from Richard Geary. Saw him with the super chat there earlier. So appreciate it, Richard. We got one side with 109 or Michael Penix. So now it's time to decide what his value is. Dad, you kind of mentioned earlier what you bought him for and sold him for. Snoog, where do you kind of value him currently?
Yeah, I think this is good value for Michael Penix. if it's Colson Loveland or Emeka Egbuka there, though, like, why do I want them over Michael Penix? Like, I really am at that point where I probably would. I feel like I can do more with that 109. Like, I have more flexibility than if someone likes Michael Penix or not.
I have been able to trade the 109 for a 27 first plus. I have not been able to trade a single share of Michael Penix for a 27 first. You're just not going to get it. So does that make him a buy? You know, low key, I've been buying him for 110, and I'm perfectly fine with that. 109 is a little bit more interesting. Mark Ortega jumping in with that is Super Chat 17. 3 away, baby.
All right. Appreciate the chat there, Mark. Contending this year, but his running backs are trash. 10-team Superflex, half-point tight end premium, start 9. We got one side with the 101 and 203, other side with the 104, 108, and 109. Again, happy birthday, Dad. Because it is your birthday, let's go ahead and have you answer this one off. You trading back from 101 to 104, picking up 2 other firsts. What do we think?
I wish the 203 wasn't on there. I would definitely do 104, 108, 109. If your running backs are trash, you get Travion Henderson or Tet, or even in this one, you take Tet or Hunter at 4, and then you get Judkins and Caleb at 8, 9. Like, you have an instant wide receiver or running back room. However, I mean, in start 9, so it's a little bit more shallow. It's a 10-teamer. I think Snoog, I think I'm sticking with the 101. I think I'm taking Genty, and then technically speaking, that's like the 201. So I think I'll take the 101, 201 over the 3 of them because the gap between 109 and 201 is not as far. So it almost becomes I'm sticking with Genty there. You know, like, I think you're going to get a foundational wide receiver for the next decade, as opposed to hoping that you're getting, you know, and Tet and Hunter are great at 4. If this was 107 and 108, I would do it because then I know I'd get Judkins and I know I could take whatever I want there at 108. But in this particular scenario, I think I'm sticking with Genty. Brock, I mean, you on the same side here, or would you take the 3 shot?
No, yeah, I'm on the same side there. And Jose said in the chat too, I haven't seen Judkins fall to 108 or 109, so it's not even a guarantee you're getting.
No, he goes 7 every time.
Yeah. So if this ends up being one of the tight ends in Egbuka or one of the tight ends, and you're having to feel like you need to reach on Caleb or Harvey just to get a running back, since you said your running back room's not good, I would just, you got 101 for a reason, make the easy pick, take whoever falls at 203, and you're good to go.
And I think but if you look at it, we had to think about it. You know what I mean? You looked at it and you're like, okay, I could see this potentially being in that area. This next trade I kind of like.
This one coming from a bend over on the Discord. We got one side with Marv and the other side with Judy, and then 3 straight picks there in the second. So Snoog, sounds like you have a little context here behind this one. What do we think?
Yeah, he was talking to me about it today. I think he had it at Judy 109 and the 202. And I was trying to push for him to have it be Judy 109 and a 26 second. So it looks like he turned it into kind of this. Judy and 3 early seconds, or Marv. I want Marv.
Yeah.
I want Marv.
I do too.
I think there's a chance, though, that the Judy side wins in the long run. Like, if that's Dart, Golden, and Luther Burden, like, I could see a scenario where you win this trade. Like,
Judy is I mean, I've traded for Judy. I think Judy's going to have – he was a wide receiver 1 last year. He was a wide receiver 12, and now Joe Flacco's there in place. Like,
I didn't think of that.
Judy's a wide receiver 1 at
203.
At 203, you get Harris. At 202, you get Dart. So now you have a quarterback and 2 wide receivers. And then at 204, you know, you get Burden. Now you got 3 wide receivers. You're building out quickly here. You know, like, that
one's tough. That one's tough.
Yeah, there's 3 things that make my mouth water. Travis Hunter highlights, a 12-ounce sirloin steak tip, and Joe Flacco being the quarterback for my fantasy wide receiver.
Just wait till I tell your girlfriend about this. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't say anything about his girlfriend. Here we go. For me, we just hit 18 and 19. We got one more. Let's do it. Caleb Black.
Let's go. Yes, sir. Appreciate the super chat, Caleb Black. He said, give Kyron Williams for Hampton and the 303. Dad, come on.
Dude, Snoog's biggest sell
season.
My favorite running back. That is the way to go. I almost think you have to add a first on top of Kyron to get to Hampton. So, I mean, that's a smash.
All right. And
Oh,
then the
Prism is
19th one
back.
here coming from Prism said he needs help. All right, let's dial in. He's got the 102, the 4, 6, 7, and 10. He was tanking last year, so he doesn't have any running backs. He's debating between Tet and Henderson at 104. Any suggestions, Dad? What do we think?
So this is how I'm doing this one, because if you were tanking last year, I am taking at this point, because the interesting part is you're probably going to get at 6, you're probably going to get Travion Henderson. So in this particular league, I mean, I'm taking Hampton wherever I can, but I have no problem here getting your wide receiver 1 at the 102 in this particular league. So if it's Hunter or it's Tet, because then you're going to force the next guy to make that decision between Hunter and Hampton, and then you're going to get whoever's left there at 4. So then at 6, I'm taking Travion Henderson. At 7, I'm taking Quinshon Judkins. At 10, I'm taking Tyler Warren, and I'm just running to the damn bank because I just got 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and my tight end 1 of the class. Snoog, sometimes you got to plan it out, right? You look at this. If he said he had the 102, 105, now I'm thinking a little bit different. 102, 104, if I take Ted at 2, then I force the guy at 3 to be like, okay, you're either taking Hampton or that, knowing that I have 6 and 7, which is going to be Henderson and Judkins, in my opinion.
The exact way that I would attack this is that exact route, but I would go to the 103 guy first and say, do you want to move up to the 102 and get your guy? Mm-hmm. Throw me a second, I'll throw you a third, or just throw me any second you want. Get that done. Then take whoever Hampton, Ted, or Hunter falls to 3 and 4, take both of them. Or I'm doing exactly what Dad said with the 102. At the 104, I'm doing the same thing. I'm picking Judkins and Hendo at the 106, 107. I'm taking that 110. I'm flipping that for a stud young wideout. I'm going to take that 110 in a future second and try to get a Devontae Smith or try to get I don't know, something like that. Like, I'm using that 110 as a bridge gap to try to get something better to help my team out rather than picking. I just never love picking 5 first-round picks in a rookie draft because, like, it's just the odds they all hit isn't really great, even if they all look like good names.
When I just did it with a 9, I was taking 5 guys and then getting 4 first. I have no problem drafting in this particular one. Take Ted at 2, get Hunter at 4, and 6, 7, 10. If you're really bad, trade them all for 27 firsts plus a second. So get 107 plus, get a 27 first plus the 201, and then go ahead and get your, get Matthew Golden in the first and just keep building out. So I love that one. Guess what? Mandy showed it right off the bat. She was like, hey, let's break a record tonight. We got 20. That ties our record. We got Tyler Barnes here. So Snoog, get that wheel ready, baby. We're going to have 20 names on there. That's crazy. If we get 21, that breaks the record. So let's make sure we break the record, but let's get this one.
All right. This one coming in from Tyler. Appreciate the super chat, Tyler. He said he has Devon Achane, but got offered Travion and Demont or Kamara for him. His only other RB currently is Hampton, which he somehow got with the 107. So would you move Achane for, well, Snoog, before you cowbell, Travion or Montgomery, Travion or Kamara, or it doesn't matter?
Travion and Kamara, cowbell it. Smash.
Let's go. That is awesome. Like, that's literally what we teach, because Travion Henderson is the 104, 105 in most drafts. Achane we have right now currently worth the 104. Jack Colavecchio coming through, throwing that, extra 99 cents in there big time, because that breaks the record. Cowbell for that. I appreciate you guys.
Jack, do you have the rookie guide yet? If you don't, I'll send it to you for free. Just let me know, because you broke the record for us. Just DM me on Twitter.
The record. Hey, thank you guys. Where a lot of you guys have wished a happy birthday. Really appreciate that. We got a couple more quick trades since we've been kind of hitting all these super chats. We'll hit these a little bit quicker. Well, actually, this is one of my favorites. So,
and just a comment there, SSOB was asking again about that B Robin 202. It was the 102 side on that one. That was when we were smashing. He was clarifying it was Brian Robinson, but just wanted to acknowledge that one there. So trade 18 coming from Chase Garrod over on Discord. We got one side with Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen, Jamal Chase, DeAndre Swift. Other side with Drake London, Bo Nix, Marv, the 103 and 110. I don't know what the value is until I read the whole thing.
Go Snoog first, because I helped work this one out. So go ahead.
This is hurting my brain.
Okay. You want me to break it down?
the way I'm looking at it is Chase versus London and Marv, and then Allen versus Knicks 110 and 103.
I'll take the Allen and Chase side probably.
It's the Allen side. Because Snoog, listen to me, hear me out. London 103 equals Chase, pretty close, right? And then you say Swift. So now you got to choose between Josh Allen and DeAndre Swift, or Knicks, Marv, and the 110. That's not enough.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
You get two corner, especially if it's a shallow format. You get
tempting as hell though, because I'm like,
big boy
that's
super chat.
If that is like, honestly, I'm looking. Oh gosh, super chats are flying in. We just hit the Michael Jordan numbers here. Whoa, what do we have here? All right, we got Andres Rosa says, let's run this up. Nabbed both Loveland and Warren at 205, 206 in my last draft.
Whoa.
Nabbed Chuba for 2/3. Thanks for these smash principles. Hey,
you're killing it.
What is it? 0 tight end premium, 0 tight end start.
And the next one from Tomas here.
Yeah, he said, happy birthday, Dad. Are you guys going to continue with the one quarterback content? Currently have he believes, a contending team with solid wide receivers. Bucky and CMC also has a couple rookie picks there. What should he do? Loves the content. So let's go ahead and first address the one quarterback content, and then we'll kind of dive into his draft strategy there at 2 and 5.
I'm always shocked, like we always talk about Superflex, and I'm a little bit more old school than Snoog. I still play a couple one quarterbacks, and we do we've been doing that with the mocks, so we will continue to do that, Tomas. I think there's a lot more people that play. I think it's a lot closer to 50-50 than what people really believe it is, because people have moved to Superflex. Trying to be like all-in contender here, it looks like you have three foundational wide receivers, Bucky and CMC, with the 102 and 105. Snoog, I mean, if I'm contending, it's got to be Hampton at 102, and then at the 105, I mean, you're probably getting Travion Henderson or Travis Hunter. So I have no problem taking either of those guys. If you're trying to, really push the chips all in, I might go 102 with Hampton, and then at 105, I might try to really get an elite level asset. I might try to pair it up, or I might try to do 105 plus a second to get like a Saquon Barkley, or get a T Higgins in this particular situation, Snoog, where you're just pushing the chips all in.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing opposite. I was going to say try to turn 102 into a Nico Collins type of player. Get whatever that package up ready to go for a Nico, maybe add for a Puka, or do something like Marv in a second for the 102 or whatever, something like that, and then take Hunter if he falls to 105, or take a Travion Henderson there. I also don't hate the idea of just taking 2 RBs there if you want to take Hampton and Henderson, or if you want to take Tet and Hunter there at 102 and then take Henderson at 105. You really can't go wrong with any of those 3 guys at the 102. Like, I really don't feel super strongly about any of them at the 102. I'm personally just a big Hunter guy, because I just think his ceiling's ridiculously high with the type of prospect he is. So I'd prefer him at the 102. But it's like they're all within a late third. If I can get a late third on any of them, I'd take it to move back. That's how close it is for me.
DM either of us, or put it on you. Put a comment on YouTube, and we'll send you our email so we can help you out with that trade. Couple more quick ones here. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got trade 16 coming from Abraham over on Discord. One side with T-Law and a third, other side with Bryce, the 201, 210, and 301. Snoog, what do we think?
I want Trevor Lawrence. I do. I want Trevor Lawrence. I think him with Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. and Liam Cohen is going to be absolutely crazy for him, and I think it's going to help him big time. Yes, Bryce did get Tet McMillan, but Bryce still literally looked so terrible his rookie year, and looked horrible for literally most of last year besides like 4 games. So I just think there's a little bit more risk there, even though I do think Bryce figures his stuff out and is a starter in this league. Trevor Lawrence has proved that he can be a starter in this league already, and he has better weapons and a better supporting cast there.
I think the difference maker for me on this trade is if this is a 10 team or a 12 team. If this is a 10 team, I'm taking Bryce Young all day long, because then I'm getting the 111. And I do think Bryce Young was a quarterback 1 down the stretch over the final 8 games. And Trevor Lawrence, has only done that in small stretches, of course, across his career. I think Liam Cohen's really going to turn his career around, just like Bryce did with Dave Canales. I think Canales has really turned Bryce Young. Bryce Young's tough to sell though. Like he really is. So 12 team, give me Lawrence. 10 team, give me Bryce. The 210 and 301 in this class are not all that sexy. They don't move the needle a lot for me. We missed Brandon Jacobs at 15. He said Snoog 103 or 105 11. And the guy wants Ward at 103, so I'm selling that all day.
Oh yeah, let him.
Yep, I'm doing it.
Two more trades. Here we go.
All right, trade 19 here coming from Nick Stan from the Smash Accept 17 League. So we got one side with Judy, the 111, 208, and still a free agent, J.K. Dobbins. Other side with 112, 26 first, 305, and Jaleel McLaughlin. So, Dad, what do we think here on this one?
I'm going to pass this one to Snoog. Snoog, the 111 is Caleb Johnson, and the 112 is Matthew Golden. So, Judy and the 111, the 208 and Dobbins, or Matthew Golden, a super late 26 first, the 305, and Chase McLaughlin.
Give me Caleb Johnson and Judy.
Yeah, that's what hey, he made the trade with me, so that's where
dead even for me.
It is. And it was like sometimes in leagues, Snoog, I don't know if you ever do this, but I was like, it's fair. I was like, throw me Dobbins, we'll make something happen. But sometimes you make a trade just to get the league going. Like sometimes the leagues are dead and you're just like, we have not had a trade in 2 months. This is fair. I don't think it's a big deal either way. Sure, you can have my 26 first because I do think Jerry Jeudy is going to put up wide receiver 1 numbers, and I'm trying to buy him wherever I can. And I think there was just enough a gap at 111, 112. I was hoping Caleb fell. Caleb did fall. As soon as that happened, I smashed in. So, last one.
All right, trade 20 coming from Dizbro, also in another Smash Accept league. This one in Smash Accept 11. We got the 104 or the 110 and the 111. Dad, I'm assuming you're in this league too. Was this one with you?
I'm in this one. I was not in this particular trade though. Snoog, I'd be interested to see what you have to say here too, because like most leagues, you're going to look at it as Warren, Ibuka. I think if you're looking at it as wide receivers, I like to look at it this way. Like, is it Travis Hunter or would you rather have Warren and Ibuka? If it's, at 4, you're getting Travion Henderson. Would you rather have Travion Henderson or Caleb Johnson and RJ Harvey? So it's like, if you're getting the wide receivers, I think I would rather have Hunter, but if I'm moving there, I'm not wild on the 110, 111.
110 and 111 in a lot of the leagues I've been doing has been Kyler Warren and Caleb Johnson. And most of them, I haven't seen really anybody else at 111. Maybe Loveland 110. I've seen like once if someone preferred Warren, but so to me, with where I've been seeing 110 and 111 being, I'd take the 104 and I'm running to the bank with it. But if, like Dad said, if it's a Egbuka and Loveland or Egbuka and Caleb Johnson, then it gets close for me. Like it gets to be like, okay, this is pretty fair. But other than that, like if I'm getting Travis Hunter or Tet or Hampton at that 4 spot, that's pretty juicy to turn 2 late first into it.
I love it. Snoog, get the wheel up. Carlos.
Yep.
He said, y'all are the best. Did a 1-year punt on my roster after constantly being average. Was able to control my entire rookie draft. Walked away with Hampton, Judkins, Warren, and Harvey. I love that kind of stuff because that's literally what we're doing. And Carlos put on there, he goes, y'all need to join the Discord. It's worth it. So he went from, like he was just saying there, he was being average for multiple years and then all of a sudden did that. Now he has the entire board, And
Good
also,
stuff.
He put happy 23rd birthday. So, dude, thank you. I mean, like, well, I'm talking 25th, high school reunion, a little bit closer on there. So, hey,
board's ready to go.
Shout out to Mandy again. She got the whole thing rolling. So here we go. Let's get this board up. Snoog, this is the biggest wheel we've ever had. We're breaking records here every single week here at Smash Accepts. Let's see what we got.
So the first spin is for a basic giveaway and the rookie guy.
No, hold on.
No. That's out. It's 2. Once we pass that, it goes out. So it's 2.
Just to make sure, there were 23 chats. 1 was Dad's girlfriend, so there should be 22 names in there, right? So to make sure we're not leaving anyone out.
Yeah, I had everybody. I didn't put Dad's girlfriend on, should I?
Well, no, I'm seeing 21 at the top. So I'm just double checking.
Should I put your girlfriend on there, and then it's like if she wins, you gotta take her out to dinner?
We're going to Cape May for the weekend, so I'll set you guys up. So let's do it this way.
I found who you were missing. It was LB Money.
Put LB Money on there. Let's let's do it this way, Snoog. Get 3 names. We'll give away 1 basic. We'll give away 2 VIPs. And then with those 3 names, once they're on there, we'll do another spin to see who gets the Smash Accept 20 invite. So we'll do 3 names. First one, this is for the basic.
Best version of gambling right here.
Andres Rosa. All right. Then the next one we're due for the VIP. And I believe Andres is already in there. If you don't have the disc, if you don't have the rookie guide, we will send it to you. Now we're going to do 2 VIPs. Let's see what we got. Jack Colavecchio. He put us over the top with that throwing dimes in there. I love it.
Well deserved. Let's get a new face. Dixie Flatline.
All right, Dixie, make sure you message us. Now, those are our 3 people on there. Snoog, do one more because Dixie got the basic for free already. So give me one more.
I already deleted the wheel.
That's fine.
I was bet a spin for the giveaway for the high roller, the high stakes.
I was gonna say since we have that. Okay, go ahead and roll it.
All right. Jack Cole.
All right, Jack, you are in if you want it. So we will message you, get that going. Guys, every single week, it's just more and more fun. I mean, this was the longest show we've done. It's also been the most viewed show we have already and the most super chats all on my birthday. I love you guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and enjoy the process. Yo!